Hello, everybody. Um, this is another video about my sleep paralysis. Um, I had another uh, incident with it like last Tuesday night, and it was a little different. My last uh, video I made about this, it was about I kind of felt like um, I couldn't move, but I didn't necessarily feel like anything was holding me down. I just felt like too heavy to move. There was no, I didn't feel any pressure or anything like that. Um, but this time it was different. Like this time it was, um, I was, I actually went to sleep anticipating that it would happen that night. Like I laid down and I thought that it would happen, even though it hadn't happened like for so long. Like that was, it had been so long since it had happened last. So, um, but I just really, really, really felt like it was going to happen. And I mean, sure enough, it happened, but it was so different from the other time. Like, I literally felt like I was being held down by force. And even my head felt like it was being shoved into the pillow. Like, my body felt like it was being pressed, shoved, I mean, like, forcefully shoved into my bed. Like, and it was it was a lot of pressure, and it was just like it was very, very forceful and super duper scary. But the weird thing is like it when I woke up, like the next morning when I woke up, I hadn't been sweating. I hadn't been like any of the things that I usually do when I have a really bad night, and something happens, and I just like I'm scared, and so like I don't sleep easy or whatever. I wake up and I feel I just remember all of it, and I remember how like what a bad night I had. But like this time I woke up and I remembered it happening, but it's almost like it happened to somebody else, like I wasn't scared. It didn't freak me out. Like when I woke up, I wasn't freaked out by it, but um, there was no, astral projection or I didn't see anything. I didn't feel anything in my bed like last time. I didn't hear anything odd, didn't see anything. It was just the sort of like the sleep paralysis, except for it's just more aggressive. Because I woke up and I was so not freaked out, I started to kind of wonder if maybe it was a dream. Because like this time, like the before when it happened, I knew that I was awake because I even like between it, like in between the little, where I would close my eyes and it would happen. Like when I would open my eyes, I would call. I would push the phone button on my phone and call a friend of mine. Like I would just keep calling. He never answered the phone, but like I just kept pushing the button and calling, and I called like 5 times that night. I remember. So but it was like I didn't have any of that stuff. So I thought maybe I've just dreamt it because I went to sleep fearing that it would happen that night. Maybe it was just on my mind so much. And I ended up watching because of the reaction of the messages that I've gotten, um, the comments that I've gotten from my other astral projection, sleep paralysis video. I uh, did a little more research or whatever. And I found there was this movie called, like, they refer to shadow people kind of in some type of a way to deal with this type of thing, like that they have something, it's kind of all kind of intertwined together or whatever. So there's a movie apparently called Shadow People, and I watched this movie and I thought that I think I mean, everybody knows that, like, you can kind of, with our energy, we can kind of bring things to fruition, with thoughts and stuff. But I totally think that that is possible. My brother used to tell me all the time, like, cause I used to have like night terrors when I was a kid, and so, he would say that the last thing I think about before I go to sleep will be what I dream about. So just try to think about something pleasant all the way up until you pass out. And so it never worked. Of course, you can't make yourself not think of something scary when you're already scared, so. But I think that might have been what happened, last Tuesday, because I mean, all the way up until the point of where I passed out, I was thinking that that was going to happen. That it was going to happen. Even that it was going to be really different this time. Like, it was going to be, like, worse. And sure enough, it was. So, it could have just been all in my head, which makes me think. And another thing about the sleep paralysis, from what I've read, it says that it's always when you are like super duper tired, and it's somewhere between the moment when you pass out, before you pass out, and when you just fall asleep is when that happens. And so, I mean, just with that in mind, automatically kind of suggests that it's in your head. It's not something that's real, and it's incidental. And it seems like everybody so far on, on YouTube, everybody's who's had this, like, telling their stories about this, whenever this happens, they always seem like they're by themselves. Like, they're in the bed by themselves. Like, shoot me a comment or something if this is happening to you and you're not by yourself in the bed. Like, when it happened. Because I have yet to hear a story, I think, where it happened and they weren't by themselves. Anyone in it. If that's the case, then I might need me a bunkmate. Problem solved. All right, well, that's all I wanted to just share my newer experience. Now I have these documented so that later I can recall when this type of stuff was happening to me. Thanks for listening.